So Jason, tell us about the startup visa.
Well, the idea is to be a magnet for brilliant young entrepreneurs from around the world so they can get permanent residency in Canada. All day here at TiEcon, I've been meeting brilliant young, typically Indian entrepreneurs, tech specialists, who cannot get their immigration status. They can't get their green cards. They're stuck on H-1 visas, which means that they don't have any permanence or stability in the US. But what we're inviting them to do is to try to get an investment from a Canadian venture capital fund or angel investor. If they can get that, we will in principle give them permanent residence in Canada, the equivalent of a green card. So this is a new immigration program we've just rolled out. It's better than the startup visas in Australia, New Zealand, Britain, or Chile. Those countries only give these young entrepreneurs temporary visas, and they have to meet conditions to stay permanently. For our visa, you can get it permanently right off the top as long as you get that qualified, certified investment from a Canadian VenCap firm.
So this is really focused on entrepreneurs, small businesses, those types?
Yeah.
Okay.
We would anticipate that most of these startup entrepreneurs will be in the tech sector because that's typically where the venture capital and angel investors are involved in Canada, but it could be in other sectors as well.
I see. And tell us about the investment climate. Canada.
It's very strong. Look, first of all, Canada has the strongest economy in the G7, the best fiscal position, lowest debt and deficit in the developed world, the best job creation record since the global downturn in 2009. The World Bank and Forbes magazine both say that we're the best country in the world, in the developed world, in which to start a new business. We have business taxes significantly lower than the US, and that's kind of new. We always used to have higher taxes, but we've been cutting those corporate taxes. Now, on average, taxes on new business investment in Canada are 10 to 15 points lower than in the United States, depending on where you live. We have lower capital gains taxes, and we also have a very strong tax credit and incentive for STEM industries. If you start, for example, a tech startup in Canada, you can get a credit from the government for up to 35% of the salary costs of your engineers if it's a Canadian-owned company. So very strong incentives. Bottom line is better investment climate, lower taxes, and a more stable economy.
I see, that's very good. So what advice do you have to some of our entrepreneurs overseas so that they can help fulfill their goals?
Well, listen, I know that there's tens of thousands of foreign nationals, a lot of Indian tech experts and startup entrepreneurs on H-1 visas here in the US. They can't get their green cards. They can't get any stability in their immigration status. We would invite them through referrals or perhaps through startup accelerators in Canada, or perhaps through American venture capitalists to make contact with Canadian VenCap or angel investor firms. If they can get their concept funded directly or on a joint venture, they could get a certificate allowing them to get permanent residency in Canada through the new startup visa. But that doesn't just apply to foreign nationals in the US, it applies to people all around the world. Again, whether you're in India, China, anywhere, if you're interested in opening a business in the strongest economy in the developed world and getting permanent residency, think about Canada. Contact, you go to the website.
Yeah, how do we
sure,
sign
go
up?
to the website of Citizenship Immigration Canada, cic.gc.ca, that's CIC, or just Google Startup Visa Canada.
Startup Visa Canada.
And you'll get all the information there.
Okay. Well, Jason, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks
really
for your
appreciate
interest.
it.